This is the new Mahlkönig X64SD electric grinder for home baristas. It's an all-around grinder that can be used for filter coffee as well as espresso with 64mm flat steel burrs. It's the first single-dose grinder from Mahlkönig for home users. Does it deliver on its promises? For a long time we're thinking about getting a single-dose grinder for our studio, especially for occasions like brewing bigger batches of filter coffee or espresso tastings when you need to pull more shots at a time. So when Mahlkönig approached us about working together on this video, we said, yes, bring it on. So in this video, we'll take it out of the box and show all the parts. We'll also bring it to the action, brewing both filter coffee and espresso. And we'll also do small tests about grind speed, coffee retention, noise, grind size, to answer some common questions we found online. So at the very end of this video, we'll see if X64SD is the right fit for us and also for you. Okay, so let's start with unboxing that we filmed earlier to share with you the experience too. Let's bring the box. So inside the package you will find the main grinder body, in our case in black color, that is one of two colors available now. It's actually quite small, right? Then 3 different hopper attachments. Hopper extension with a lid, single-dose bellows with a lid, and also anti-popcorn attachment. Last thing is a metal cup with an extension that magnetically connects to the drip tray. Now, the first impression is how compact this grinder is. It's only 25 centimeters tall and weighs little under 5 kilos, so it has a very low footprint that can fit nice in our coffee bar next to other equipment, and is also fairly easy to move around. Unlike special edition of our small EK43 commercial grinder, which ended up being rarely used as it's quite bulky, heavy, and also loud to use in our studio. Inside the grinder there are 64mm flat steel burrs designed and manufactured by Mahlkönig in Germany, and fast motor that runs on fixed 1950 RPM that should allow for a wide range of grind sizes with 2 to 6 grams per second speed. And of course we will check that later in this video. What makes X64SD a low profile grinder is no fixed hopper, but multiple options. Just a lid with a suggested grind setting to start your coffee dial in. Anti-popcorning attachment that can fit about 30 grams of coffee. Hopper extension that can fit about 100 grams of coffee. And single-dose bellow that we'll probably use the most often, that can fit around 80 grams of coffee. But really for us, we want that grinder for single-dose grinding, right? The last thing is a nice metal cup that magnetically attaches to the removable drip tray. Nice Touch is an extension that removes the distance between the cup and the grinder outlet to minimize the mess. Operating the grinder is very intuitive. Just plug it in, then there is a grind adjustment knob on the right side and a simple button to turn it on and off in the front. Operating the grind size adjustment knob is smooth and easy to use. Moving from espresso to filter takes only a few rotations, but it also allows that fine adjustment needed for espresso. Overall, grinder looks very well built, solid materials, and all parts are aligned perfectly. It's ready to be used in almost no time. My impression is that it doesn't aim to be a dominant piece in the kitchen or a coffee bar, but a simple design allows it to be placed everywhere and just do the job properly every day. With 499 euros retail price, it's a very competitive grinder in its category. Now it's time to brew some coffee to show you the grinder in action and to see if it can really deliver grind for both filter coffee and espresso. And it's done. Okay, so it's time to taste it. It's definitely a good cup. The grinder didn't disappoint. Okay, so we try filter coffee. Okay, and now it's time to make espresso using this grinder, so let's get ready. And espresso is ready. Looks good. Smells good too. Okay, so now we know we can grind for filter coffee, we can grind for espresso too. Let's do some more tests to see how it performs and, you know, the results. Okay, so in the first test, we want to see what's the grind size spread in this grinder. So we'll start from the espresso grind size, then filter coffee grind size that we use, and all the way to sort of a cold brew, or the max grind size that is allowed for this grinder. Okay, so here we have all different grind sizes, from the finest for the espresso, even finer, actually it's very, very powder-like, all the way to sort of a cold brew, or the coarsest grind size, and something in between, something that we use for the filter coffee. And yeah, it just seems like this grinder can do it all. And as we already brewed filter coffee and espresso, it just proves, so looks very good. What is important, and some people struggle with that they couldn't make it to the espresso grind size. And there is a little trick here. Some grinders might not be zero calibrated. So what you do in order to zero calibrate your grinder is you turn it on and you move this ring and just you bring it all the way, so you hear little sound when it's on a zero. So the burrs are almost touching. Okay, so now it's time to check how fast this grinder grinds, and also what's the coffee retention. So it means how much coffee actually remains inside. And we'll do it for two grind sizes, one for filter coffee and one for espresso grind size. So let's start with the filter coffee. Okay, so now let's try the espresso grind size. Okay, so this short test is over. What we found out for obviously unexpected filter coffee grinding is much faster. We're around like 5-6 seconds. And for the espresso and 18 grams that we use for both actually doses, we're around 8 seconds, 9 seconds. When it comes to the coffee retention, it was much bigger difference without using this like push system for the espresso. But once we use it, we were almost at 18 grams, which is perfect. And there was almost no coffee remain inside. Well done.
Next, we want to test and capture how loud or quiet the grinder is. As you can see and hear, it reached about 90 decibel, so it's not the most quiet grinder out there, but it's also very quick for a home grinder. So there is a shorter disruption even during the mornings.
So important step for any grinder is cleaning. So now we'll take it apart and clean this grinder.
We want to show you the steps needed to open the grinder for cleaning. First, you remove the upper case that is magnetically attached to the body. Then you unscrew 3 and then 4 screws to access and clean burrs. With brush, as we did, or ideally with a vacuum cleaner to remove coffee more easily and faster. There are also a few steps to remove and unscrew the spout system to do a proper deep cleaning. Based on the instructions, it's recommended to do it at least once per week.
Overall, does the Mahlkönig X64 SD deliver on its promise? We would say yes. If you are looking for a single dose grinder that can grind both for espresso and filter coffee at your home, this model convinces us it's a good option. We'll definitely keep it in our studio. We believe X64SD is universal enough to fit most kitchen counters and coffee bars. The build is very solid, and even though it's a new grinder, we see it as a grinder that can last for long. The cleaning process could be a little easier, but it's not something that would totally destroy our experience. So it's definitely a challenger to all grinders in that category. Now, let us know what you think and what's your experience with X64SD. And also, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.